Dear viewers, Namaskar. In the headlines today, monument inaugurated by CEO RSP at Center Plan 3 to mark 25 million ton production. Financial assistance of Rs 19.5 lakhs presented by SAIL Rourkela Steel Plant to students from peripheral villages.
Enterprising endeavors of oxygen plant collective improve availability of compressed air for casters in steel melting shop 2. And environment-loving employees of CPP1 Department of SAIL RSP add greenery to their department.
22 executives of SAIL Rourkela Steel Plant elevated to the post of Deputy General Managers. And Board of RSP employee obtains doctorate degree from NIT Rourkela.
Digital transformation is one of the key tools to achieve cultural transformation of the organization, says CEO RSP. And SAIL Rourkela Steel Plant collaborates with Indian Railways to provide life-saving gas to medical units across the country.
Now the news in detail. A grand function was organized at Center Plant 3 SP3 of SAIL Rourkela Steel Plant on 16th July to commemorate production of 25 million tons of sinter from the unit. Mr. Deepak Chattaraj, CEO RSP, was the chief guest on the occasion and inaugurated the renovated park in front of the SP3 office and dedicated the 25 million ton monument erected to mark the occasion. Present on the occasion were Mr. Pankaj Kumar, ED Works, Mr. A.K. Kundu, ED Mines, Mr. S.R. Suryavanshi, ED Operations, Mr. A.K. Pradhan, ED Projects, Mr. P.K. Satpathy, ED P&A, Mr. C.R. Mohapatra, CGM in charge, MM and Marketing, Mr. Praveen Nigam, CGM F&A, Chief General Managers and other officers and employees of the department. The monument, designed in-house by Center Plant Collective, is made of locally available resources and RSP steel, symbolizing the aspirations of scaling higher peaks of excellence. The renovated and redesigned park has been landscaped with varieties of shrubs and a mini fountain. The piece de resistance of the garden is a handcrafted statue of Gautam Buddha made with West pebbles and iron rods. The fitness path of around 300 meters developed adjacent to the garden boundary intends at keeping the employees fit and healthy. The garden and the monument are another eloquent example of employee engagement for creating a better work ambience. As a part of the CSR initiatives of Rourkela Steel Plant, 21 students pursuing professional courses and belonging to the scheduled tribe, scheduled caste and economically backward class of Sundargarh district, model steel villages and resettlement colonies of RSP were provided financial assistance of Rs 19.5 lakhs recently. The appreciation letters handing over program was organized at the Institute of Periphery Development, Sector 20 in a staggered manner over a period of few days with strict adherence to the COVID-19 norms. Mr. Ajay Kumar Nayak, CGM TA and CSR, Mr. C.J. Ramalingam, GM TA, Ms. Munmun Mitra, DGM in charge CSR and other officials of CSR department were present on the occasion. The program was coordinated by Ms. Mitra. The payments were provided through online mode to 21 students of the batch 2020-21 under the scheme. Financial assistance worth Rs 30,000 per year is being provided, which translates to Rs 60,000 for postgraduate courses of 2 years. Rs 1,20,000 for graduate courses of 4 years like BTech and Rs 1,50,000 for 5 years MBBS course. It is worth mentioning here that every year 20 students, 10 boys and 10 girls pursuing graduate courses and 10 students, 5 girls and 5 boys pursuing PG courses for professional studies are selected for this scholarship. The selected students are given the scholarship amount in installments on yearly basis as per their academic performance and submission of appropriate documents.
The Oxygen Plant Collective of SAIL Rourkela Steel Plant has been consistently making efforts to enhance its internal customer satisfaction and contribute in making of quality steel. Several modifications are being carried out in this regard. It may be noted that 2 air compressors each with capacity 15,000 N/m³ per hour are in operation in Atlas Copco Air Station to cater the requirement of compressed air for steel casters in steel melting shop 2. Cooling water through a vertical turbine pump is circulated through the compressor intercoolers in stage 1 and stage 2. In the third stage, oil cooler and motor heat exchanger are used for cooling down the gas, oil and motor winding. The return water is cooled down in cooling tower. During mechanical cleaning of heat exchanger tubes, it was observed that a thick layer of scale was deposited inside the tube surface, which was very difficult to clean with mechanical brushing technique, and there was a risk of puncturing the tubes of heat exchanger. In order to overcome the existing drawbacks, the collective decided to procure online self-cleaning filter system in Atlas Copco Air Station of oxygen plant. Recently, the collective has successfully installed self-cleaning auto back wash filter in cooling water line of Atlas Copco Air Station, and this has considerably improved the water quality in the system and ensured availability of compressed air at SMS2 to meet the requirement of compressed air for steel casters. It may be noted that the compressed air is an important component used in caster of steel melting shops. Participating enthusiastically in the ongoing plantation drive in SAIL Rourkela Steel Plant and responding to the call made by Mr. Deepak Chatraj, CEO RSP in this regard, the environment-loving employees of Captive Power Plant 1 Department of RSP are adding greenery and natural colors to their working area by adding various types of plants, including ornamental plants in the department. The collective have planted and are personally maintaining more than 300 potted plants. The team led by Mr. B.S. Karta, CGM Powers and HOD of CPP1 planted 30 indoor ornamental plants in the department office corridors. Several senior officers and employees were also present in the occasion. The plants were supplied by the Horticulture Division of RSP. It is worth mentioning that the saplings were planted in the pots prepared by the employees from used polychemical containers. Every pot carries the name of an employee who would take care of the plant and will be responsible for its growth. This personal touch and ownership of employees has made this initiative more unique and engaging.
The 22 executives of SAIL Rourkela Steel Plant who have been elevated to the post of Deputy General Managers were presented with the promotion orders and functions organized at the offices of Executive Directors on 18 July 2021. In a function organized at ED Works office, Mr. Pankaj Kumar, ED Works, and Mr. S.R. Suryavanshi, ED Operations, handed over the promotion orders to 9 executives of the works area. Similar programs were organized at the Raw Material Division Office of RSP, Projects Office, Personnel and Administration Office, Ispat General Hospital and Finance Department, where Mr. A.K. Kundu, ED Mines, Mr. A.K. Pradhan, ED Projects, Mr. P.K. Satpathy, ED P&A, Dr. B.K. Hota, CMO in charge Medical and Health Services, Mr. Praveen Nigam, CGM in charge FNA, presented the orders to the concerned executives. Extending heartiest congratulations to the executives on the elevation, the EDs and the HODs called upon the new DGMs to work towards propelling the plant towards greater heights by improving the communication and work culture, strengthening the safety net and optimizing performance and efficiency. The newly promoted DGMs thanked the management for recognizing their efforts and assured that they would make every possible effort to better the performance of the steel plant. The events were coordinated by Mr. Somdat Tripathi, Manager Personnel OD, under the guidance of Mr. R.K. Verma, GM Personnel OD. Dr. Abhishek Parida, son of Mrs. Sukanti Lata Parida and Mr. Ravi Narayan Parida, Master Technician CPP1, obtained his doctorate in electrical engineering from National Institute of Technology, Rourkela. The subject of his thesis was adaptive filtering and control algorithms for grid integration and photovoltaic system. The thesis was completed under the supervision and guidance of Professor Vidyadhar Subudhi, School of Electrical Science, Indian Institute of Technology, Goa, and Professor Pravat Kumar Ray, Department of Electrical Engineering, National Institute of Technology, Rourkela. The thesis was highly appreciated by external examiner Professor SP Singh from IIT Roorkee. Dr. Abhishek Parida completed his class 10 in 2004 and 12 in 2006 from Ispat English Medium School, Sector 20 with 84.17% and 81.8% respectively, B.Tech EEE from Padmanabha College of Engineering and M.Tech from NIT Rourkela. Dr. Parida worked as a lecturer in C.V. Raman Engineering College, VVSR in 2012 and thereafter as assistant professor in ITR SOA University, BBSR from 2012 to 2015. Dr. Parida has also published a number of research papers in prestigious publications. PR News Desk spoke to Dr. Parida regarding his achievement. We bring you the excerpts of the interview.
Hello, I am Abhishek Parida. I have completed my schooling from Ispat English Medium School, Sector 20. After that, I did my B.Tech from Padmanabha College of Engineering. And after that, I cleared GATE and went for M.Tech at NIT Rourkela, where I was awarded with the Institute Silver Medal. And after that, I went for job and I was posted as assistant professor at Institute of Technical Education and Research, SOA University. After that, I came for my PhD at NIT Rourkela and I completed my PhD on June 30th, 2021. And I would like to thank my parents for all the blessings that they have given me. And last but not the least, I would like to thank the Rourkela Steel Plant, which has provided me all these benefits with which I am like what I am today. Thank you.
In a rapidly advancing technological world, digital transformation is one of the key tools to achieve total cultural transformation of an organization, said Mr. Deepak Chattaraj, CEO, in the inaugural session of the 2 days workshop on Digital Transformation and Industry 4.0 being held at HRD Center of SAIL, Rourkela Steel Plant RSP from 20th to 21st July 2021. Mr. S.R. Suryavanshi, ED Operations, shared the dais with the CEO on the occasion. Mr. Ashok Kumar Kundu, ED Mines, Mr. A.K. Pradhan, ED Projects, Mr. P.K. Satpathy, ED P&A, Mr. C.R. Mohapatra, CGM in charge MM and Marketing, Mr. Praveen Nigam, CGM in charge F&A, Ms. Atashi Parmanik, CGM in charge AI and IT, many other Chief General Managers, CGMs, were present on the occasion. Many other heads of departments and senior officers of the plant joined the session through virtual mode. Notably, the workshop is being organized with expert support of Messrs. Tata Communications. Speaking further on the topic, Mr. Deepak Chattaraj said, "In the modern competitive age, we need to adapt to the changes to consolidate our position to sustain as well as contribute to the growth of the society at large." The ferocity of the pandemic also reinforced the importance of digital technology as a key to sustain. Emphasizing on an effective human-machine interface HMI, the CEO detailed out the areas of the steel plant where automation can be explored to obtain more advantage from technological interventions. He stressed on the need of further reducing cost of production to maintain the competitive advantage which RSP has been able to gain in the recent past. We need to readdress and reorient our people for achieving the cultural transformation, which is the only way to excel. Let's organize, structure and realign the organization to remain agile and adaptable since we are answerable to our future generation, he added. The CEO also spoke about the upcoming technologically advanced hot strip mill 2 that will help the steel plant make a quantum jump in digital transformation. In his address, Mr. Suryavanshi said, Industry 4.0 is a basic need of an industry. Digital transformation is the fundamental change for any organization and it has been rapidly expanding after the COVID pandemic. RSP has prepared a roadmap for adopting futuristic technologies and striving ahead to add more values to its operation. At the outset, a team of Tata Communications led by Mr. Rajiv Desai, Head Strategic Engagements, Solution and Products, made an elaborate preparation on digital transformation and Industry 4.0. The elaborate presentation included the significance of digitalization in the changing business scenario to achieve excellence in men, machine and materials and facilities chain. Earlier, Mr. S. Palchaudhary, CGM I&A, in his introductory address spoke about the vision document of RSP for achieving digital transformation. Ms. Rashri Banerjee, CGM HRD, welcomed the gathering and briefly outlined about the program. Ms. Shanti Kumari, DGM HRD, coordinated the inaugural session, while Mr. Faraz Abbasi, AGM C&IT, proposed a formal vote of thanks. SAIL, Rourkela Steel Plant RSP and Indian Railways, two trusted partners of the nation, collaborated effectively to provide life-saving medical-grade liquid oxygen LMO to various medical units spread across the nook and corner of the country during the peak period of the COVID-19 pandemic. The gigantic organizations worked in tandem to transport more than 9,000 tons of LMO in 371 ISO tankers and 122 road tankers in 136 rakes in between April 2021 and June 2021. The Indian Railway, with a wide and vast rail network connecting every corner of the country, acted swiftly to develop special corridors and deliver the life-saving ingredient through Oxygen Express, a distinct carrier for the purpose. It is noteworthy here that there was a huge demand of LMO in healthcare facilities across the country. RSP, the first public sector undertaking in India to adopt basic oxygen furnace route of steel making, rose to the occasion to utilize its potential to stand by the nation. The steel plant, with a robust oxygen generation infrastructure, took up the responsibility to meet the exigency along with the other SAIL units. Accordingly, the steel plant converted the industrial oxygen with a purity of about 99.5% to medical oxygen with a purity of around 93.5% and free from all contaminations, adopting suitable modifications. Besides, the Oxygen Plant Collective of RSP worked relentlessly round the clock to produce and load the precious gaseous element. The dedicated efforts were visible when the team clocked record single dispatches thrice in the month of May 2021. That's all for today's news bulletin. Namaskar.